Hello again, Josh here from LinkBound.com, and I'm putting together a special little overview video, a little bit of a training video on what one key factor that has become extremely important in ranking your website that has been dramatically overlooked, and that is traffic. So does traffic really affect your rankings? Well, I'm going to tell you. First things first, in case you don't know who I am, because this is probably the second video that I've done, for LinkBound.com. So my name is Josh, and I'm also known as the Google Realtor to my clients. I am pretty much the guy that a lot of large companies go to for beating their competition in really hard to rank niches. I've been in SEO since 2009. I've ranked hundreds and hundreds of sites, and I have some Fortune 500 clients, and I own, I can myself personally control over 500 PBNs. And like I said, I specialize in hard to rank niches, so it's really, that's really what I do. So with that being said, I'm going to talk to you about traffic. So what is traffic? If anybody has been in SEO longer than 3 or 4 years, you'll probably know that back in the day, before Google really started to smarten up their algorithm, traffic was an important factor. And you could go out there and you could buy traffic through third-party sites that would basically send bots, automated programs to your site. They would generate quite a bit of traffic, which would help you rank your website. And that worked for a little while, and then Google caught on to that, and they really centered on links. And of course, there was a bot for that created spammy links and so on and so forth. But traffic is now circling around to be one of the most important factors of ranking for your website. But there's a catch, because you can't just use a bot anymore. You can't just buy traffic necessarily. You really have to know what you're looking for. So that's actually what I'm going to cover is this is the third major piece in your trifecta of tools for SEO, for ranking your site or a client site, is traffic. So why does it matter? Well, the right kind of traffic done correctly will dramatically increase your rankings, and you can do nothing else. You can just have the right amount of traffic targeted correctly, and you can see some pretty incredible rankings. And here's some examples. So just a client of mine that I recently took on, this top graph, I started some traffic right here on the 1st of October, and today I think is the 15th. Let's see. And then 3 days later, you can see they went from below number 50 to number 6. Just with, for that one keyword, that much movement. And that's how effective it really is. And then the bottom graph below that, when I took on a different client, I built them a PBN link for a keyword they were not ranking for, or several links, and that got them on the rankings. And then they were at number 3. And then they were stuck at number 3. So then shortly after that link registered, I built them some traffic, and they're at number 1 for that keyword. And it's a high value keyword in the medical industry. It's an optometrist in the East Coast. So the more people they can see from locally targeted traffic, search engine results, obviously the better it is for them. So that's why it matters. If it's done correctly, you can get stellar results with just traffic alone. So traffic, juice, it really shows a certain level of authority for your site if you have the correctly targeted traffic going to your site. So it equals juice, like Google Juice, like Google Credit. So I still get a lot of blank looks when I talk to other SEOs about traffic, because the response is generally, well, who cares? Why does it matter? Google doesn't care about traffic anymore. They care about links. They care about clicks. I don't know. They care about whatever else that people think that Google cares about. Well, Google actually does care about it, and I'm going to tell you why. So if you're like me and you do analytics tracking for, say, a client site, or if you want to watch your funnels or whatever, you use Google Analytics. It works pretty well. There's a lot of other alternatives, but there's no reason not to use Google Analytics if you use it correctly. Now, the two key factors that Google Analytics tracks is click-through rate and dwell time. So click-through rate is, I am Joe Blow, and let me just give you a little example here. So I am Joe, and I live in New York, and I'm going to search for an eye doctor because I need an eye doctor. So I do a search, and I get the Google 3-pack here, and then I get all the Google results. So that's the first step in the traffic flow, is the search under the keyword. And then once they click and they go to this, this is an awful site. Once they click and they've gone from the search results page to the site, and then let's say they hit back because it's a common result, and a common action that they like. If I was looking for eyeglasses and I went to this site, I would be like, there's no way I would go there. That's a horrible site, and that's very unprofessional. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at the second one. And that is, so the click-through rate is clicking on the link from the search result page, specifically that one thing. And then dwell time means how long did they stay on the site before they went back to the search results. And that also can be bounce rate. So I'm the searcher and I'm going to look for an eye doctor. Okay, good. I found this site. Great. This looks professional, and I can learn about the doctor, and there are Google reviews right there, and I can go make an appointment. Great. I'm going to do that. And so this site gets the traffic for, they get some traffic juice, so to speak, from Google. Now imagine that happening on a massive basis over the course of a month or 2 months or a week or even 7 days. What would happen to Google's eyes of seeing the value of your website in comparison to your competition? If Google sees they click on the first result first, because they always see that, and then there's a bounce rate, and they go back to the search results and they click on the number 2, then that's going to give you or your site or your client site or your money site a higher authoritative value. So that's the long and the short of that. So dwell time, now you know why. So I just went over the click-through rate and what you do, and the dwell time. That's essentially how long it takes for someone to go back to the search results from your site, and if they do or they don't. If they're there for 2 hours or if they're there for 10 minutes, that value is watched by Google on a broad basis, obviously. So is this the new SEO secret ingredient? Well, probably. Not a lot of SEOs are really talking about it. It's really overlooked. It's really second guessed. People don't really talk about it that much. But if you're Google and you are looking to determine the credibility of a site, if that site gets a lot of searches and a lot of dwell time, a lot of click-through rate and a lot of dwell time, that's going to be very important to Google. Whether they're going to admit it or not, that would make sense. Because all that Google wants to do is present the searcher with the best search results possible for that searcher. And the only way that they have to decide that is the traffic and the links that go to that site. That's really all that it is. And there's a lot of other factors, but that's the basics of it. So how do you get traffic? Obviously, you can do it organically like I just showed you, but you wanna get some traffic. There's a couple of things that I can show you that do generate traffic that are pretty cheap that you can use, that I have used myself. So reposting and retweeting. Well, there's a concept in the SEO world, or at least my SEO world, that you can, it's called stacking, essentially. You take traffic from one site or one social network, and you retweet other tweets from another social media account, and that creates a bit of attention. And that's a bit of the concept of what I'm about to tell you. So essentially, here's what it is. All right, so you've got your Twitter account, and you found a tweet about, I don't know, whatever this is, a meetup from Engadget. Okay, cool. So you can totally reply back to Chris Morris 4, and you can say, thanks for the post. I'm going to give Google a little bit of juice here. You put your website in there. And the other thing that you can do is put in a search term. I'm not going to actually post this, but I doctor in New York. If I can spell it right. Good. So then what you do is you tweet this. And what this will do, this will get the person to, a lot of times people will just click on it, and they will go to, they'll click directly on your link, or you can actually just give them a keyword and they can go and do a search for it. That does happen. It's not super effective, but that's just one of the ways that you can generate a little bit of traffic, because some traffic is better than none. You can also do ads. So Facebook ads, Twitter ads, that can generate quite a bit of traffic, where you create an ad where you can send people to your website, and you go through the process of send people to your website, and you can create an ad. Target, and this is where the targeting comes in. It's really good that you can target whatever kind of audience you want. You can nail down their interests so that, anyway, that's a whole Facebook ad, class that we could do. But point being is that you can target anywhere, anybody on the planet for any particular interests, any gender, any person who works at a company, and you will start to get traffic, hundreds of people per day who will go to your website, and it will start to spark interest, in your company and in your website. The main thing is that because the whole click-through rate and dwell time does count when it comes from an ad as well. So if Google knows that a link came from a Facebook ad that went to your site, and then they left and went back to Facebook, that's the dwell time they're going to watch, because they watch that. They do, because Facebook does share analytics with Google. So that's one way to do it. And again, I'm showing you a lot of different ways to do it. Some of these I don't even use because it's very time consuming. So I'm going to skip links. That's pretty obvious. You have links from your PBN site. Somebody actually does click on it, or a link from another website, like a forum or Reddit. People will click on it and they'll go to your site. And again, dwell time does matter when they click the back button, bounce rate, so to speak. So what about buying traffic? Well, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. You can, have a tweet go out, and then you can go to Fiverr and you can have somebody retweet that tweet a bunch of times, and that could generate some traffic. You can also buy keyword targeted traffic with low bounce rate. And this does work fairly well. This is somebody, I'm not sure how they do this, but they do it through advertising. So they have their own advertising network that flows visits through, Google, through whatever advertising campaigns they have. This is a pretty effective way. I've used this before, and this does help. So that's another option. Now, really what you want, ideally, the one that's most effective, the one that I showed you up here that got this kind of result, was not through reposting, retweeting ads, links. Those things do work. They do not work this effectively. What you really want is you want real people doing searches, targeted in a geographical area that's related to your business or to the page or to the customer or the money site that you want to rank better. And you want real people who actually do the searches and actually dwell on your site. So that's where the complexity and the time comes into this. How do you get that? how do you get hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands or whatnot of people to search for your keyword and to click on your site, click on your link, and give you some dwell time? Large amounts of people. Well, that is really where the shameless pitch comes in for something that Mario and I are going to be releasing here soon. So, if you haven't heard already, I'm just going to give you a little bit of an introduction. PBN Nexus is a service that we're providing where we will rank your website for whatever keyword or keywords that you want it ranked for. Think of it as a booster. Think of it as a tool that you can use that will dramatically increase your rankings for your customers. Something that you can use, you can buy, and then you can mark up. And with all that being said, what's really important here is that what we do is we have a massive network of PBNs, of Web 2.0 properties. We have a lot of tools that we use, and you're getting the advantage of a massive amount of websites and tools and traffic that we're going to generate for you. Now, we have access to hundreds of thousands of people, literally, who we can go to them and say, please search for this keyword and click on this site and dwell for 5 minutes. I think it's about a minute and a half is really what we want. We want the dwell time to be at least a minute and a half. So that's one key ingredient that I don't know that any other SEO service out there sells this as a service as part of their ranking service. We also do social signals. We will actually create a social frenzy around your money site, which sends a lot of social links back to your site. Even though they are no follow, they're still very helpful. We also have thousands of high domain authority PBNs, which you will get links from. And we will also build a whole Web 2.0 structure around your campaign. And essentially all of these 4 key ingredients, bring about a huge increase in your rankings. So do I need to say any more? Probably not. There's my shameless plug. There's your traffic education for the day. And I'm sure that we will be opening Nexus very soon. I believe it's on Tuesday, October 20th. And I'm sure that above or below this video, you'll have the opportunity to opt in to find out more about it. But you don't want to miss out, because you can imagine all the work that goes into ranking somebody's website. Well, if we have 50 people who sign up, well, obviously you're going to be very busy, because I'm the person who actually does all of the work behind the scenes. So you can imagine that I'm not going to let more than about 50 people sign up for this. So get it while it's hot, and I will see you in the next video.